Ascent has finally returned. This map is easily Vyse's best map, and I'm excited to show you guys what I've been cooking as of late. I've got plenty of broken setups to show, as well as lineups that can completely change how the map is played. So let's get started. So starting with the A setup, one of the first walls I'll do is on the left side of this box here. This is the best if you're trying to hold for information. Now with this, I'll usually put my thorns on the right here, just in case they do come from tree, I can still cut them off. Or if they go for switch, still cut them off. And for my flash, I'll put it right on the back wall. That way, it's still good for retake and they won't break it unless they get up to here. Now, if you're looking for an aggressive setup, what you can do at barrier drop is look at this gray box on the left, throw a wall for here. I'll usually put a flash over here as soon as barriers drop and then place this wall. This flash works really well because the barrier is all the way back here, so they won't see it. And since this wall is pretty deep, you can actually catch a player or two with this flash combo, so definitely abuse it. Now, my third setup are for those eco rounds where I want to play with a shotgun. I'll just put it on the wall here. If you put your flash right here off to the side, 9 times out of 10 they will be flash and you can just get a free pick once they trip your wall. Now if I am doing this setup, I'll usually put my thorns over here. That way I can pop them and make sure that my back is covered. And if you want to defend for tree, what you can do is go to the middle of the store and throw your wall off to the side here. Great wall because you can't really trip it as easily. You have to go much further out. Just be careful because they can peek out to the side here without tripping it, so make sure you have eyes on this angle. If you don't want to worry about that, you can also just put it on the pot. Just know that it is a little easier to trip since that's all you have to do. For this kind of setup, I'll usually put my flash either on Gen or box here, and I'll just play for contact for my thorns here or B main with a lineup, and then I'll place my thorns on the entry here and then play for a lineup. Now there's 2 lineups I'm going to show you guys. Now for the first lineup, I'll stand in this corner here. You're going to see this little like divot in the clouds. Just move to the left of it and do a left click throw. It'll fly all the way over to the B main and cover most of the entry as well as some of lane. Now for the second lineup, I'll be standing up here over by this box. You'll see this line on the wall over by the door. Just look at the bottom left corner of it and then look down a little bit and do a running jump throw. It'll land on top here, covering the entire choke. This is a really powerful lineup since they can't really destroy it as easily. The only thing is it is very easy to mess up, so do practice it. If you're looking to defend mid, here's a great setup. You'll jump on top of these barrels and then pull out your flash, right click, and try to click it. Pair it with a wall across pizza, and this is the setup you're looking at. You'll have a wall to watch your mid, and if they do end up pushing it, have something to push off of. This flash also does see into mid, but it doesn't last as long. I think the best part about this flash though is the fact that it does not get smoked off because it is so high up. If I'm trying to line up for top mid, I'll stand in this corner here. You're gonna see this building off to the distance with 2 windows. Just aim on the corner of the roof and do a left click throw. It'll land all the way over here, covering the whole thing. If you want to go for tiles instead, you can stand over here on the corner. You'll see this sign over here on the wall. Just aim towards the corner of it and do a left click throw. It'll fly all the way over here and then bam. Easy as pie. Now B has a ton of setups. There's a lot of things you can do. So to start, if you want a wall just for information, you can put it off to the side here on the boat. This will cover as much as possible, but it will be easy to trip. So keep that in mind. Usually I'll pair it with a flash right here. If I'm doing this wall, I'll usually place my vines over here. That way I can cut off switch and lane if I need to. This is what it all covers. Now if I want to play a little bit aggressive, I can place my flash up here before barriers drop. I'll place my wall off to the side here. And how this works is they kind of have to come over here and trip it. And I can place my flash in case they do want to try and go for that. However, this works best if I pair the flash with a duelist here, such as Phoenix or Reyna. That way they can rat here and I can kind of bait for them. Maybe go for a kill or 2 and back up. They get a pick. All fine and dandy. Another aggressive setup you can do right here with the flash. And then once barriers drop, you can place your wall off to the side here on the right. Now this on its own isn't amazing because, I mean, this is very easy to trip. They just have to get up to here. Boom, it's tripped. But that's not the point. The whole reason for this is so you can have a duelist play aggressive, maybe Phoenix or Waylay, and get up on this corner and then run back over here. You'll see this curve over on the wall. Try to aim a little bit to the left of the corner of it. And once you hear the wall trips, you'll do a left click throw. This will fly all the way over here and cut him off from running out of main. Have her stun all of this and then dash over and go for kills with the flash. It takes a lot of coordination, but this is a really strong setup because they think they're safe, but they're really not. And hell, that's not the only ability you can pair it with. You can do Raise Nade, Breach Stun. For the next setup, this is for if I want to play more towards the B site. I'm gonna place my wall off to the side. That way it cuts off the lane as well as the switch entry. Just like the default setup, I'll put my thorns in the corner here. That way it covers all of this. Then you'll take your flash and put it off to the left here. That way it covers as much as this left and right side as possible. Now, as you saw, the whole purpose is to play deep onto the B site. That way you can go for this thorn and flash play. And if they do end up flooding out of this left side, it's fine. You still have your flash. I usually play towards the stair side and start jump peeking. That way I can go over here and tuck, go for the thorns play when it's ready. Now there's two variations of this next setup. The first one is off of this new wall on the side here. This one will cut off the lane as well as the switch. Just note that they can still walk around this wall and run through. It'll just take them a lot longer. You can also just cut off switch by looking at this pole here. I do like this wall a little bit more just because it doesn't allow them into lane. But if you do have a lot of jet or waylay players who are dashing in and hitting this switch, you can just use this wall and then put your thorns right here. That way when they do come out, they'll get all covered in thorns. Nothing they can do. They're just shredded. And then for the flash, I'll put my flash right here. That way it covers off all the areas that aren't covered by the wall and thorns. So a small update I forgot to mention in the video. You can also put your thorns here for your second pair if you really want to. This can be good for this wall especially because look at this. Boom, it covers it perfectly. And since it doesn't cover this top area, that means your teammates can swing out and get these picks. And when paired with this flash, it's even stronger. So if you want to go for that alternate setup, very good decision. Anyways, back to the video. So you can imagine how it looks. Wall gets popped, pop that. Boom. They're all dead. You can also place one right here off to the side of the logs. There is technically another variation right off to the corner here that is basically identical. So if you want to just do that instead, it's fine. Just be careful because they can still walk out here, obviously. So if you are holding stairs, be careful. This is much better at holding the push since it covers the entire man and there's nothing they can do about the wall. They have to wait. With this, I'll usually put my flash high up here. That way it covers as much as possible whenever they do choose to come out. And then for thorns, I'll do the same one I was doing. I'll just place it right here. You can also put it right here if you want to. Just know that it will be easier to break since I do believe they can see it from right here. That's why I usually throw it off to the side here. That way they can't break it. Now for lineups from B to A, you'll stand over here on this line. You're going to see this window on the right here. Just look on the bottom right corner off to the side and do a jump throw. This will fly all the way over to the A main and cover the entire thing. This is a must-know lineup, so do remember this. All right, let's move on to the attack. Starting with our flank walls, the first one I will do is right here off to the side if I'm pushing B. If I am pushing towards mid and I want to cover B, I'm going to put my wall over to the side here. Note that if they are holding this angle, they can see this getting placed, so be careful. But this is much better than this wall or even this wall, since it gives you much earlier information and does not allow them to shoot you in the back. And then of course for A, it's very simple. You'll just place it right here on the box. And if I'm trying to push from this side instead, I'll just put it right here. Very basic. And yeah, that's all there is for flank watch. Let's get to our lineups. Starting with the first lineup on this box here, using the icon above your thorns, you're gonna line up with this lightning bolt here. This is one of the best lineups to learn, so do memorize this. And you're just gonna do a left click throw. It'll fly all the way over here and land on heaven, covering the entire thing. This is so good because if you smoke this, they try to run out here. They're not running out here. I'm gonna use my right bar over here by my ult and line it up with the flag on the right. You're just gonna do another left click throw. This one will fly all the way into tree and cut off any players from entering out. This is also an essential one to know since you know all those players who sit there with their rat shotguns and try to kill you the moment you hit switch. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. And for the last one, standing in the same corner, you're gonna see the structure that's in the sky. Just line up the top of your wall with it and do another left click throw. This one will land all the way back gen and cut off as well part of hell, making it very annoying to play this backside area. If I'm looking to cut off rotates from A, I can stand over here and I'm going to use the icon above my thorns and line it up with the top left of this box here and do left click throw. This will fly all the way over here, cut off this area, which means anybody trying to leave through here will have to take damage or be forced to rotate through mid or our spawn. And same thing applies if they want to rotate from here to A. If you want to try to go for mid space, what you can do is stand in the same corner. You're going to take the tip of your ult icon and line it up with the corner of the box and do a left click throw once again. This will land over here in front of market, cutting off any players from trying to rotate through and peek this angle in particular. Now lineups on the B side, starting over here by these boxes. You're gonna see this little like streak across the sky. Line up your crosshair with the tip of it and do a left click throw. This will fly all the way over towards their spawn and cut off anybody from hitting this area, which is really good if you're trying to go for a mid and B take. That way they can just smoke this off and ignore it since they'll make noise if they're in there. If I'm trying to take towards cat, I can play anywhere alongside here, and you'll look towards the roof on the left. Just look towards the middle part and in between these buildings and do a left click throw. It'll fly all the way over here and land perfectly. That way you can push without them peeking out. Now, if I'm trying to take the B site and go over here, and these are really easy lineups, you'll just look towards the right and left side of this middle bar and do left click throws for each of those. And this is where they land respectively. Very nice, very simple. And then for the last lineup, stand in this corner once again, look towards the middle bar on the left corner, and you'll just do a left click throw. It'll fly all the way through and land right here on the stairs. Now what's so great about this is if they're standing in here, they either can choose to go out here and take a bunch of, enemies, or they can take a bunch of damage running back out to site. So it's up to them. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about Vyse, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.